On May 21, 2025, North Korea's Chongjin Shipyard, located in the country's northeastern region, became the site of a significant setback for the nation's military aspirations. During a highly publicized ceremony attended by Kim Jong-un, a 5,000-ton Choi Hyun-class destroyer, intended to symbolize North Korea's growing naval power, met with disaster. As the vessel began its descent into the water, it tilted violently, derailed from its launch slideway, and succumbed to flooding as seawater poured into its hull. The event, meant to project national pride, instead became a public embarrassment, revealing deep-seated flaws in North Korea's military-industrial framework. The immediate response was swift and severe. Kim Jong-un, visibly frustrated by the failure, ordered the detention of the shipyard's director, chief engineer, and administrative deputy director. These individuals were held accountable for the mishap, but analysts argue they were scapegoats for broader systemic issues. The true causes of the accident lie in a combination of outdated infrastructure, inadequate technical expertise, and an overambitious military agenda that prioritizes rapid progress over meticulous planning and execution. Chongjin Shipyard lacks the modern facilities required for constructing advanced warships. Unlike shipyards equipped with dry docks, which allow for controlled and precise launches, Chongjin relies on a sideslip launch method, a technique that demands exacting control of slideway alignment and hull balance. The shipyard's slideways, corroded and designed for smaller vessels such as 1,800-ton fishing boats, were ill-equipped to handle the weight and complexity of a 5,000-ton destroyer. On the day of the launch, the stern slideway detached prematurely, causing the vessel to capsize dramatically, likened by observers to a kite with a severed string as it plunged into the sea. This incident was not an isolated failure but a symptom of broader challenges within North Korea's military-industrial system. Since assuming power in 2012, Kim Jong-un has championed a work-hard-and-fast approach to defense development, aiming to achieve rapid advancements despite the country's limited resources. This policy has placed immense pressure on an already strained industrial base, leading to repeated failures. The Chongjin accident bears striking similarities to the 2017 Hwasong-12 missile test, which ended in an explosion seconds after launch, scattering debris into the Sea of Japan. Both incidents reflect the consequences of prioritizing speed over scientific rigor and technical preparedness. The aftermath of the destroyer's capsizing further highlighted North Korea's missteps. Authorities allocated an estimated $200 million to salvage efforts, a sum exceeding the vessel's $150 million construction cost. The operation proved largely futile, as the hull sustained irreparable damage, leaving only small portions salvageable. Critics argue that these funds could have been invested in modernizing Chongjin's outdated infrastructure, such as upgrading its corroded slideways or acquiring dry dock technology. Instead, the salvage attempt appeared to be a face-saving endeavor, underscoring a pattern of misallocated resources to uphold the illusion of military progress. Historically, Chongjin Shipyard focused on producing cargo ships and fishing boats, not sophisticated warships. In 2024, Kim Jong-un mandated its transformation into a naval production hub, setting an unrealistic one-year deadline for the destroyer's completion. Insiders report that the shipyard lacked essential components, and most workers were reassigned from unrelated industries, lacking the specialized skills needed for large-scale warship construction. The factory director reportedly voiced concerns about the facility's limitations, citing shortages of even basic parts for fishing boat repairs. Yet, under pressure to meet Kim's demands, the shipyard proceeded with the project, setting the stage for the inevitable disaster. North Korea's military-industrial system faces additional hurdles, including a critical shortage of skilled engineers. Many of the country's shipyard technicians are over 60 years old, and the national education system struggles to produce a new generation of qualified professionals. This talent gap, coupled with aging equipment, much of which dates back to the last century, undermines North Korea's ability to sustain complex projects. Despite heavy military investment, estimated at 25% of the country's gross domestic product, the focus on quantity over quality has failed to yield meaningful technological advancements. Approximately 500,000 North Koreans, 1/50th of the population, work in the military-industrial sector, a staggering figure that reflects the nation's prioritization of defense over other industries. Efforts to conceal the accident further compounded North Korea's embarrassment. Following the incident, authorities attempted to cover the site with tarps to evade satellite detection, but high-resolution images released on May 29, 2025, revealed the half-sunken destroyer in stark detail. The failed cover-up not only exposed the extent of the damage but also drew international scrutiny, turning the incident into a global spectacle. The images confirmed that the vessel was beyond repair, further undermining North Korea's claims of naval progress. The Chongjin shipyard accident serves as a cautionary tale about the limits of political ambition in the face of technical realities. North Korea's reliance on outdated methods and its disregard for scientific principles have led to costly and preventable failures. Comparisons with regional neighbors highlight the gap in capabilities. For instance, on July 28, 2022, South Korea successfully launched a 10,000-ton Kim Jong-un-class destroyer using advanced vertical launch technology, earning international praise for its precision and innovation. Japan, a regional rival, acknowledged the achievement, noting the rapid progress of South Korea's navy. In contrast, North Korea's mishap underscored its industrial shortcomings and inability to compete on a modern stage. The incident at Chongjin is not an isolated event but part of a pattern of setbacks rooted in North Korea's military strategy. The 2017 missile failure, the 2025 destroyer capsizing, and other incidents reflect a consistent failure to align ambitions with capabilities. Experts argue that North Korea's aging infrastructure and lack of technical expertise cannot support its dream of becoming a naval power. Kim Dong-yi, a defense analyst, has noted that most of North Korea's military facilities were built decades ago and have long exceeded their service life. Temporary repairs and makeshift solutions are insufficient to bridge the gap between aspiration and reality. The talent shortage is equally critical. Reports from defectors indicate that young workers at shipyards like Chongjin and Nampo lack basic skills, such as welding, further hampering progress. This human resource crisis, coupled with the government's focus on short-term gains, has turned Kim Jong-un's grand blueprint for a modern navy into an unattainable vision. The government's heavy defense investment has not translated into progress due to misguided priorities. The $200 million spent on salvaging the destroyer, for example, could have addressed systemic issues, such as modernizing shipyard facilities or training a new generation of engineers, but was instead used for a futile operation that prioritized appearances over practical outcomes. The international community has taken note of North Korea's struggles. The failed cover-up attempt, coupled with the release of satellite imagery, turned the Chongjin incident into a symbol of the country's broader challenges. While North Korea sought to shield its failure from view, the global spotlight only intensified, highlighting the gap between its rhetoric and reality. The incident has sparked discussions about the viability of North Korea's military ambitions and the risks of pursuing rapid development without a solid foundation. Ultimately, the Chongjin shipyard accident underscores a critical lesson. Military advancement requires more than political directives and slogans. Technical accumulation, skilled labor, and modern infrastructure are essential for success. North Korea's repeated failures suggest a need for a more pragmatic approach, one that acknowledges objective limitations and prioritizes long-term investment over short-term displays of strength. Without addressing these fundamental issues, the nation's naval aspirations will likely remain unfulfilled, serving as a cautionary tale for others balancing ambition with capability. The capsized destroyer, now a symbol of overreach, offers a stark reminder that progress cannot be forced without respect for scientific and technical realities.